Now that Amazon Prime Video has come out with the Jack Reacher mini-series, let us travel back in time to 2012, a year when the world was telling itself that it was supposed to come to an end. But Paramount and Skydance decided that they don't really care about that and decided to proceed with the release of their movie, Jack Reacher, starring the epitome of work ethic, the one, the only, Mr. Tom Cruise. And in this episode of the Vocal About Visuals podcast, I, Kishore Ganesh, will be sharing my thoughts on it. The first thing that was very prominently mentioned about this movie was how Tom Cruise was miscast as Jack Reacher. The whole argument being Jack Reacher from the Lee Child novels was a barrel-chested tough guy who tower over people thanks to his 6.5 plus feet height. And Tom Cruise, well, is the exact opposite of this description. If you're a fan of the books and the character, well, I guess this would be quite jarring. And me, despite owning the exact same book this movie is based on, one shot, never got around to reading it. And even though I knew the character description of Reacher, I didn't find Tom Cruise's casting to be a deterrent. I wanted to watch a Tom Cruise Jack Reacher action movie, and this movie was already made 9 years back. So I put it on and started watching it, and here's what I think about it. Everything from the location of the movie, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to the color of it, to the fact that there were no superheroes in it, and the fact that it was a mid-budget action movie really impressed me. It was nice to see a grounded action movie, which was also a mystery thriller. One more thing about the location, the film being set in Pittsburgh was refreshing for me, coming from having watched so many movies that have been set on either coasts of the United States. From the first shot of the movie, I was hooked, and what followed was a very competent mystery thriller with a significant amount of guns and hand-to-hand combat. And man, was it nice to watch this instead of fights involving superpowers. Rosamund Pike as the female lead goes toe-to-toe with Tom Cruise and doesn't get overshadowed by the star's charisma. That's thanks to the fact that she's an excellent actor in addition to the brilliant writing. From start to finish, this movie is engaging with all the right elements that are necessary in a good action film. All the supporting characters do their jobs ably, and the most impressive aspect of this movie is that it retains an undercurrent of menace where you are afraid that at any given point of time, anything can happen to the leads, and that's the sign of great writing. I had a really good time watching this movie, and I bet anyone who's a fan of mysteries or action or Tom Cruise will enjoy this. It is not great or a classic, but then again, no one is consistently looking to watch classics or great movies exclusively. Sometimes you just need a movie to entertain and take you along for a ride, and these are the kinds of movies that become the quote-unquote rewatchables. Once again, my name is Kishore Ganesh, this is the Vocal About Visuals podcast, and thank you my dear listeners for your time and for listening.